Hey, and welcome back. This week, I'm actually going to share a little bit of a story, a little bit of a kind of testimony that happened today before we get into the scripture. And so I'm going to have to tell on myself here a little bit and be slightly vulnerable. So I have been putting off doing our gutters, cleaning out our gutters for a long time. And to put that into perspective, we've lived in this house for 3 years and I have not touched the gutters once. So it's not really not really great, right? Um, I am terrified of heights, getting on ladders, houses, that kind of thing. Roller coasters do not bother me. Slide towers, like at water parks and stuff like that, does not bother me. But you get me on a ladder or put me on top of a roof or put me on a scissor lift, it's not good for me. So today I decided I'm like, you know what? I need to do this. It's got to be done. I need to get this done. And so I prayed and I'm like, Lord, help me to get this done. Help me to be brave and get out here and do this. So I'm out on the roof and Amber is out in the driveway watching me and making sure that, somebody's there if something would happen, Lord forbid. And I'm laying down on my stomach because I couldn't kneel down or stand next to the side because I was just so scared that I was going to fall off. So I'm laying on my stomach and my chest is pounding and able to get all of the muck out of the gutters, but then in the part of the gutter that the water runs out onto your into your grass or your driveway or wherever it's going, it had gotten clogged because there was so much of it that had gotten also down inside of that just over the past couple of years. And like, Lord, what are we going to do? How are we going to get this finished? And this guy rides by on a motorcycle today and stops. He's like, "Hey, I work on this stuff all the time. Like, do you mind if I help you?" It's like, "No, thank God." He comes in, he knocks it all out, shows us what to do, how to do it. And Kanan said to my wife, he was like, "Oh, we need to thank God that this guy came and helped y'all." And he's absolutely right. Um, it was a really cool, really cool God moment. And I was able to learn from him and also have my gutter completely cleared out. But it's funny because I already had planned on what today's video was going to be before any of this happened. And today, what I want to do is we're going to look at Genesis chapter 12 and start in verse 1. And this is the beginning of the story of Abraham or Abram at this point. And it says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I show you, and I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. And you shall be a blessing, and I will bless those who bless you. And the one who curses you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of earth or of the earth will be blessed." And so, can you imagine this before we move on? Can you imagine this? You have lived in one place, and this is where your family is established. And all of a sudden, God speaks to Abram. And what does Abram do? He said, or well, I'm sorry, let's back up. He tells Abram, "Hey, like you are going to go to this land and I'm going to bless you." And in verse 4 it says, it doesn't say Abram freaked out and ran away or was scared, terrified and said, "Oh Lord, no." He just said in verse 4 it says, "So Abram went away as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him, his nephew went with him." And get this, Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. 75 years old and just decided, "Hey, you know what? God is telling me to do something. I need to do this." And he trusted God. That this was the thing that God had asked him to do, that he knew he had to do. He trusted God and he went. And he did make Abraham the father of many, many, many nations. And God kept his promise. We could spend all day talking about the different times that people followed what God said, whether it was in the face, even if in the face of fear. You look at David and Goliath. You know, David knew what had to be done. He trusted in God, and he went out there. He had more than just one stone with him. But guess what? It only took one stone, and he trusted in God. Daniel in the lion's den, he decided to keep on praying anyway, and he was thrown in the den with the lions, and God kept him and saved him and protected him. And so, what I'm saying, the story that I shared, although it may not be super spiritual, it kind of goes along in the way of when you know that there's something that you are supposed to do. Trust in God. Trust Him to be your protection. Trust Him to be your rear guard. If there's something that He has called you to, whether it be a job, or maybe He's calling you out, maybe He is calling you out into ministry, maybe He's calling you out to be an evangelist, or maybe He's calling you out to be a missionary. Whatever it is that He is calling you to do, whatever it is that you know that you need to do, even if it's something that is completely not spiritual, it may be getting up on your roof and having to clean out the gutters. Trust God for that thing that you have to do, and He will protect you. He will find a way and make a way for you. But that is it for this week. Thank you guys for coming back. Hopefully, trying out a new setup. We'll see if it sticks. I'm hoping that this works out. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week. God bless.